Okay, so we'll see one by one which are the steps for design of this particular flat slabs. Okay, so step number 1 is, let us consider the, we will write the whatever data is given. Okay, step number 2 is calculation of depth of your flat slab, depth of flat slab. Okay, so how we'll be calculating the depth of your flat slab? Just we'll consider this span upon depth ratio. Span upon depth is equal to 26 multiplied by multiplication factor. Okay, how we'll calculate the multiplication factor, I'll tell you in the actual design. Okay, so this is how we'll be calculating the depth of your flat slab. Then next step is step number 3. Step 3, to calculate the load or load calculation. Okay, now step number 4, this is the calculation of stiffness and alpha C. Okay, calculation of stiffness and alpha C. What are the stiffness and alpha C? I'll explain when we will be going for the problem itself. Step number 5. Okay, the calculation due to correction will apply correction due to pattern loading. Okay, pattern loading. Step number 6 is check for depth. Check for depth from bending moment consideration. Okay, check for depth from bending moment consideration. Step number 7 is check for two-way shear. Then next step is step number 8. Step number 8 is calculation of reinforcement in longer and shorter direction. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so next step is calculation of reinforcement in longer and shorter direction. Okay, and then step number 9, if applicable, if required, shear reinforcement are designed. Shear reinforcement will be designed. So this is how we'll be designing the flat slab. Now we'll see one example on design of flat slabs. Okay, so this is our example. Okay, the example is design an interior panel of a flat slab of panel size 4.5 meter by 6 meter without providing any drop, and without column head. So we don't have to provide either drop or column head. Okay, the size of columns are 300 mm by 400 mm. Live load on this particular slab is 4 kilonewton per meter square. Floor finish is given as 1 kilonewton per meter square. Height of column is given as 4 meter. And use M20 concrete and Fe415 steel. So this is our design problem for which we have to design this particular flat slab. So design an interior panel. So we have to design some interior panel like this. Okay, this is our interior panel. This will be exterior panel. This will be again exterior panel. Whereas this one, these just a minute, I'll change. Okay, all these are interior panels. Okay, that is the panels which are having panel in all the direction, that is considered as an interior panel. Okay, so we have to design this particular panel of a flat slab. The slab, the column size are 300 mm by 400 mm, which is shown here. The orientation of columns is like this. So this direction is 400 mm, this direction is 400 mm, and this direction is 300 mm. The width of your columns are like this. Okay, then live load is 4 kilonewton per meter square, floor finish is 1 kilonewton per meter square, height of column is 4 meter, and we have to use M20 concrete and Fe 415 steel. Okay, so we'll start design procedure for this particular column. Okay, so step number 1, given data. Okay, size of panel is equal to 4.5 meter by 6 meter. Okay, size of column is 300 mm by 400 mm. Live load is given as 4 kilonewton per meter square. Floor finish is given as 1 kilonewton per meter square, and we have to use M20 concrete and Fe 415 steel, and we have to design interior panel. Okay, so we have to design the interior panel. So step number 2, is calculation of depth of flat slab, okay, calculation of depth of slab. Now we have seen as per this particular clause, clause number 31.2.1, the thickness of flat slab that shall be governed by the span upon depth ratio is equal to span upon depth ratio. This should be span upon depth ratio, span upon effective depth ratio, that shall be 26 multiplied by multiplication factor, So we have span is L, let us consider span is L, upon depth, effective depth, let us consider effective depth is L, is equal to 26 multiplied by multiplication factor, Now this span should be this span L, this should be longer span, okay, this should be longer span. Okay, so for this particular design, this L shall be 6000 mm. Now let us assume we are providing percentage AST is equal to 0.4%, that is we are providing steel reinforcement up to 0.4%. Now as per clause number 31.2, just a minute, as per clause number 31.2, just a minute, sorry, page number 38. Okay, as per page number 38, okay, this figure is given here, and how to calculate this multiplication factor, how to calculate the value of this multiplication factor. Okay, now if you see this clause, this figure, we have here modification factors. These are given, the modification factor, these are given along the y-axis, whereas percentage tension reinforcement is given along the x-axis. Percentage tension reinforcement is given along x-axis. Now the these graphs are given for different steel. Now this is for Fe415. If you multiply this Fe415 0.58 multiplied by 415, you will get this is equal to 240 point something, 240 point something. This formula is given here. Okay, this formula is given here, that is Fs is equal to 0.58 into Fy. So this is how we'll get this 240. So this graph, this particular graph, this is for Fe415, and we have assumed 0.4% steel reinforcement. For this 0.4% steel reinforcement, this particular graph coincides with the this 0.4 here. Let us consider this value is 1.3. Let us consider this value is 1.3. So multiplication factor for this particular case we will be getting as a 1.3. So we'll get the multiplication factor, we get this multiplication factor, therefore multiplication factor is equal to 1.3. okay, for this reason is page number 38 of IS 456 2000. okay, so this is how we'll be calculating the modification factor. Therefore span upon depth, we have span is equal to 6000. okay, therefore span upon depth is equal to 6000 divided by depth. We don't know the depth, but we know this ratio 26 multiplied by multiplication factor is 1.3. therefore we'll get this effective depth is equal to, we'll get this effective depth as 177.51 mm. So we have got the effective depth of our flat slab. Let us provide total depth D is equal to 200 mm. Let us provide total depth D of your flat slab, where D is overall depth, where D is the overall depth. Okay, let us provide this overall depth D is equal to 200 mm. Therefore this effective depth D, okay, this will be equal to, this effective depth D, this will be equal to 200 minus diameter of steel reinforcement provided divided by 2 minus clear cover. Okay, this is well known, this is already covered in RCC. So we have provided 200 mm as effective depth. Let us provide the steel reinforcement of 10 mm phi, therefore 10 divided by 2, and let us provide the clear cover of 20 mm. So therefore this will be effective depth will be equal to 175 mm. This is 175 mm. This effective depth is in longer direction. This is in longer direction. So this is equal to 175 mm, and along the shorter direction DS, that is equal to effective depth in shorter direction. This will be equal to 175 minus 10 mm, because along the shorter direction the B, whatever steel reinforcement is there, that will be placed above the reinforcement of shorter direction. Therefore this effective depth along the shorter direction, this will be equal to 165 mm. This will be equal to 165 mm. Okay,